What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to the Cris and Mall podcast, episode 63, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good Monday noontime, or if you're in the East Coast, good afternoon. Whether you're at work, off, working out, whatever you're doing today, I hope that you guys are having a great day. We got a lot of things to get into as per usual on Mondays. So without further ado, let's get to it. And we are back. Cris Mall podcast, episode 63, Big Energy Monday. Mar, what's going on?
Man, not much, man. Feeling good, bro. Weather out here is starting to get a little bit better. So, excited about that. How you doing?
Good, man. I can't complain, man. It's my off day as usual. Going on in the process of moving and things. So I'm trying to get things situated.
Moving.
Yeah, me and the lady are moving in together. So
Congratulations to that, man. Congratulations for that step.
Yeah, so yes, sir. All right, man. Let's get into these topics, man. Let's talk about college basketball. The men and the women's brackets have been broken down for the most part. I think there's a few college games that got to be decided, but for the most part, they have been decided. I filled out my bracket last night. Did you fill out yours?
I didn't fill out a bracket, but tell me what you got each game, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Okay, I'm not gonna do a full blown bracket because there's too many games. I'm just gonna give you my final four.
All right, give me your final four.
On the men's side, I got UConn, North Carolina, Duke, and Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
And on the women, I got South Carolina, Texas, LSU, and USC.
So I'm gonna go with on the men's side, I'm gonna go let me look at this shit real quick. On the men's side, I'm gonna go with UConn. On the east side, west, I'm gonna go North Carolina. In the Midwest, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a surprise. I'm gonna go with Oregon. I think Oregon might surprise. And then on the South, I can't trust Houston. So I'm gonna go with Marquette. I think Marquette gonna slide right through. I think they've been playing pretty well. And then on the women's side, I am gonna go with South Carolina. I think South Carolina will do it. I'm gonna go with this one's tough. I'm gonna sneak in. I'm gonna say Tennessee gonna make it.
Okay.
In what division is that? One of the other divisions, Portland division. Then I'm gonna go with USC. Then I'm gonna go with LSU. I think LSU gonna make it at the end.
And then I have in the finals, I got North Carolina versus Duke, all Carolina national championship. I got North Carolina winning. And then I got South Carolina versus LSU, and I got South Carolina winning the whole thing.
Okay. I got North Carolina versus Marquette, and then I got North Carolina winning that. And then my other one in the women's side, I'm gonna go with South Carolina versus I'm gonna go with South Carolina versus LSU. I think that one's gonna be a good one, and I'm gonna go with South Carolina winning the whole thing as well.
For sure. How you feel about the Lady Rebels? How you think they gonna fare in this tournament?
I think the Lady Rebels. I think they'll win their first matchup against Creighton. It does get a little tough because then after that they'll probably have to play UCLA, and then if they get past that, they'll probably have to play LSU. LSU's just a bigger team. I think they're the bigger, deeper roster as well. But hey, you never know. UNLV's 30-2. Their record speaks for itself. So I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled out an upset amongst like maybe like a UCLA, but I just think getting over the hump of UCLA and LSU, I think it'll be a little bit too tough for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think I got them losing to LSU.
LSU, yeah, I can see that. Like UCLA is a really good team, but I think UNLV can match up pretty well with them. But LSU with Angel Reese, I think that's just I don't think that matchup does really well against them. But hey, you never know. You never know on the women's side, man.
Yeah,
Anything
man.
can happen. I'm
I
excited.
mean,
I'm excited for the women's side.
I hope they surprise me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro, if they can get past LSU, they're making it to the Final Four. I don't care. I'm rocking with them. So good
Yeah,
luck to the Lady Rebels out there.
I think I got them making it to the Sweet 16. Yeah, and then they lose to I got them losing to LSU in the Sweet 16.
My question is, what makes you pick Duke? Why Duke
On
making
the
it to
men,
the Final Four? Yeah, on the men's side. Yeah.
I don't know. It's Duke, man.
I got them losing first weekend.
What?
I haven't really been impressed with Duke all year. I think let me see where they're at. They're on the where are they at? Let me see where they at on the. Yeah, I just can't see it, man. Like they haven't really been playing pretty well at all. Like obviously they're playing Vermont. Vermont's 28-6. I may see them get past that, but I think it'll be hard either getting past Wisconsin, and then I don't see them getting past Nebraska. Like Nebraska surprised me. If you have not watched, they got like this Asian Japanese dude on that team that is wet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was watching them with the homegirl from work. Obviously she's a big Nebraska fan. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. Shout out to her dude. But no, man, that Nebraska got a nice squad too, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they shocked a couple teams as well.
I almost was tempted to give you what you wanted, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
What?
I was gonna have Iowa beat LSU, and I got USC beating Ohio State, and I was gonna give your matchup in the Final Four, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Oh,
I
well,
don't see
Iowa on the female side?
Iowa versus USC, so you can get your Juju Watkins versus Caitlin Clark.
I want that. I really do want that matchup.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
It's not going to happen though, but because honestly, I don't think Iowa. I don't know, man. I really can't see him. I really think they're going to get either bounced in the second game or the third game. Honestly, me personally. But you
Yeah.
never know with Caitlin Clark, man. Caitlin Clark, she could probably get like 50 points or whatever, get a triple double, get them through. But hey, man, if we get the Juju Caitlin Clark, I think that'll be the most exciting matchup to me. And I'm going with my girl Juju. I think Juju, she's gonna show out. She's gonna show out, man. If that matchup happened, who would you take?
I'm taking USC because I got them making the Final Four.
Okay. Do you think
I,
Juju
I
outplays Caitlin?
I wouldn't say she outplays. I say they on par. I think they both get theirs.
Okay.
I just think it's one of those things. Juju probably about 34 points. Caitlin probably about 30, 40 points, and they the best team wins.
So let me ask you, which one are you excited more for, the men's side or the women's side?
The women.
Why is that?
I just think there's more big stars on the women's side.
I tend to agree with you. I'm excited for the men's side, but I think there's more storylines on the women's side. Obviously, you got LSU trying to go for the rematch. You have the LSU South Carolina rivalry. You have the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, thing from last year. Obviously, you have Juju Watkins, who's kind of like kind of slowly taking over. Obviously, with Caitlin Clark leaving, you can see Juju Watkins taking over that mantle of being like the next big women's star in the college basketball game. Obviously, with on the men's side, there's not really too many well-known names over there. Obviously, for certain situations, but I wouldn't be surprised if the women's side gets their viewership is a little bit more higher than the men's. I think men's are still going to do pretty good, depending on who's there. Obviously, for bigger viewership, you would like to see probably the bigger, blue bloods like a North Carolina. You would want to see a UConn. You would want to see like a Kentucky, Arizona, something like that, or whatever the matchups could possibly make. But we'll see, man. I'm excited for both sides, but women's side should definitely be interesting for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk a little football.
Yeah.
Are critics correct in saying Caleb Williams shouldn't be the number one pick?
What do you think? I'm curious. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are.
No, I don't think they're right. I think he's the most talented one in this class. Right now, here's the thing. When you come in with a bunch of hype, you know what I'm saying? And Caleb Williams had big hype coming into this season. And you don't produce at least getting to the playoffs. I think if Caleb Williams and USC was taking the league by storm, they had some had won some big games this year, went to the tournament, made it to let's just say they made it to the semifinals and got knocked out. I think the whole Caleb Williams things wouldn't even be a question. But because he had a few bad games this season, and I don't all solely blame it on him. Some of that is coaching, some of that is the defense was terrible. Everybody makes a big deal of him going in the crowd and crying to his mom. Like, I don't care about that. Like that.
Yeah.
It'd be one. I'd rather him do that than be on the sideline kicking shit and throwing shit around. That to me, that's a break. That's a real nervous break. That's a breakdown to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the kid is talented. I think if he gets the right coaching and I think context always gets skewed when it comes to, especially when you get a quarterback going to them. Now we all know the quarterbacks that get the overhype. You know what I'm saying? And we can see it a mile away that this ain't gonna work out. And some of them do. Every so often one slips through the cracks and they end up being better. I didn't think Justin Herbert was going to be like this good, but he proved me wrong. I thought he was going to be another Oregon quarterback who put up a bunch of numbers and was a stat, pattern. You know what I'm saying? But he actually ended up being pretty good. You know what I'm saying? As much as we say about Justin Herbert, he's better than what we thought he was going to be. We didn't think he was going to be this. So when it comes to Caleb Williams, it's like you see the talent. You know what I'm saying? Now, is he going to get humbled? He'll probably get humbled a little bit in the NFL. All players get humbled. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's fast in the NFL. When he gets that first hit from, one of the bigger defensive linemen or whatever, he gets that one hit when he can run past somebody. He going to feel it and he going to understand. We in the league now. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that locker room, and that's a big if, but hopefully in that Chicago locker room, they put some leaders around Caleb Williams to where they can hone him in. You know what I'm saying? Where they can get a strong front around him to where he can, he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? That is big in the NFL. If you have good leaders and good organization from the top to the bottom, you know what I'm saying? And you got a young, betting star coming into your organization. Take, for example, Jacksonville. It could have been a disaster for Trevor Lawrence. His first year, he had Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer was terrible. He almost sabotaged Trevor Lawrence's career in his rookie season. But he ended up bouncing back because they finally got something strong with Dougie P around him. You know what I'm saying? It could have got worse. They could have went out and got another coach, and then he could have been terrible. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's all about what you put around him in Chicago. Now, Ryan Poles, I see you're putting together this offense. I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You got Keenan Allen, you got DJ Moore, you got Swift in the backfield, you got Komet. You just build up this offensive line for the kid, and sky's the limit for for this dude. You know what I'm saying? Sky's the
Mhm.
limit for this guy, I think.
Mhm.
So I think it's an overreaction. Everybody talking about what Merrill Hodge said about Caleb Williams. I'm not the biggest Merrill Hodge fan, whatever. I think he's a hater. A lot of times he sounds like, I mean, I'm not questioning his football acumen, but sometimes he sounds like the old man on the porch screaming at the kids. So
Yeah.
I think Caleb Williams will be fine as long as Chicago has the right people around him to hone him in and develop his skills, in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. I agree with you. I think Caleb Williams has. I think talent wise, I don't think it's even close. Like obviously, we're both big Jaden Daniel fans, but Caleb
Mhm.
Williams has been under fire for the past 2-3 years. Ever since from Oklahoma, to him transferring over to USC. I think what the Bears situation is, I know you're starting to see a lot of people get on Robert Griffin III over his comments of him saying that Caleb Williams should demand him of getting out of not playing for the Chicago Bears. A lot of people are getting on him pretty bad about it. A lot of Bears fans as well. Like, look, I'm gonna say this: what have the Bears shown as far as developing a quarterback? When was the last great quarterback the Bears have had? We just literally just saw Eberflus literally not do well at all. And obviously you had Luke Getzey playing a part of that with the development of Fields. But Eberflus is the head coach. He has some say as far as like the direction he wants to see his offense go. So I
Right.
think there's some issues with that. If you look at it, like, yeah, I think Ryan Post has done a pretty good job as far as giving Caleb Williams, if he does come to the Bears, a slew of weapons to be able to play with. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Swift, Komet. I think they even got Gerald Everett. You know what I mean? So, obviously there are some things, as you said, that they still need to fix. But I don't think RG3's comments are too far fetched as far
Mhm.
as like Caleb Williams wanted to make sure that this is the situation that he wants to go into. Because at the end of the day, with a lot of these careers, we see Bryce Young. We see what Bryce Young was in college. He played
Mhm.
against some elite talent and he looked really great. Now you see the situation that he's in. At this point, I feel so bad for him. I don't think his career is ever going to go off because he's in a bad situation. So this is a really big step for a lot of these quarterbacks. They need to be put in the right situations and they need to take advantage of that. So, Eli Manning did it. Philip Rivers did it to a degree. You know what I mean? As far as like in the sense of that swap. So like there have been times where number one pick has dictated where he wanted to go, and I don't think if Caleb Williams decides that this is not the right situation for him, I don't think he should be grilled. I don't like obviously people aren't a lot of Bear fans aren't going to agree to the decision. It would really I don't think it would hurt the Bears that much, you know what I mean? Like you still get the opportunity to pick between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Even though like some of us may feel that Caleb Williams is just a better quarterback, even though I think Jaden Daniels will be a really good quarterback. But we got to see, man. Caleb Williams should definitely be the number one pick. I don't think I get it. We're in the time of where everybody's going to nitpick over everything. People are going to try to second guess. People are putting out false information and stuff like that. This is just what comes with the draft. You know what I mean? If you're really into the NFL thing, you know what's up. You're going to hear a whole bunch of weird stuff. So uh, Caleb should be number one unless he decides not not to go to the Bears, and then they're going to have to figure out what the hell they're going to do from there. So.
Yeah, I just think it's the whole off season stuff, plus him not, wanting to do the medicals and the measurements at the combine. Even though he still showed up, he could have not just showed up and just said, "I'm better than all y'all." And I'll see
Absolutely.
y'all. I see you at the draft.
Absolutely. He answered
He's
questions, I mean? He
Yeah,
did
he
all that.
talked to the
Yes.
people. He talked to he interviewed, and he didn't do bad. It's not like he sat there and was like bombing, in the interview session. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't
Right.
get no reports if he did talk to anybody that he bombed or anything like that. So I just think this is like a bunch of overhype. I think the kid has talent, and like I said, it's just where it's just if Chicago's going to put the right people in place to hone his skills and develop him to get him ready for the NFL, because uh, look at Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't think everybody thought the pick for Mahomes in the first round to the Chiefs, they weren't in love with that. Go
Mhm.
back and look at some of the evaluations on Mahomes.
Yeah,
And it wasn't glowing. It wasn't like, oh man, the Chiefs got a steal. It was like, why would you pick Mahomes there? You
yeah,
got Alex Smith sitting. You still got Alex Smith. Why
right.
are you picking Mahomes? His
Hmm.
mechanics are bad. He's wild with the football. Sounds familiar, don't it?
Yeah, playing off script a lot. You know what I mean? Like we all got to understand the team that Caleb Williams was surrounded with wasn't really that good. Their defense was one of the worst in NCAA throughout the whole nation. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? So
And they had some cool talent. Like they had some good talent. Like, Brandon Rice was cool.
he was
Taj
cool.
Washington was cool. You
He
know what
was
I'm
cool.
saying?
Yeah.
But they weren't he ain't had Malik Neighbors over there.
Nah, he ain't have
Marvin
an LA
Harrison
school.
Jr. He ain't had
George, he
no
ain't have no Georgia squad. He ain't had no defense where he can, depend on like him not sweating if he doesn't get a touchdown or a score. Like he literally played like they needed to score every single time, which was the case. USC needed to match score for score to have any chance in any game. We saw that against Colorado. You know what I mean? Like we literally saw that. And Colorado was not a really good team last year. So if they weren't a good team, what was USC? You know what I mean? So come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, people need to chill on Caleb. Like, for all we know, all his teammates loved him as a teammate. You know what I mean? So the talent is there. As I said, it all comes down to him being in the right situation. Is Eberflus and that offensive coaching staff the right situation? Because let's be honest, if they do not do well, he's gonna have a new coach.
Mhm.
And and I don't think Ron Poles is safe either. Like I think he's done a really good job, but he's not safe either. So let's say they clean house and get a whole new GM, they get a new coach. They're gonna have a different philosophy. So all those players, the Keenan Allens, the Swifts, like you don't know if they want to keep those players, and he's gonna have to learn with a whole new set of new guys and a whole new game plan. Is that something you really want to go with? How many quarterbacks have succeeded or have done well in situations like that?
Mhm.
That's something I think we're going to have to research on to see how many succeeded and how many have failed from their predictions as quarterbacks coming into the drafts. You know what I mean? So this is a really big decision for Caleb Williams. Like for all these quarterbacks, like I don't care who you are. There are certain quarterbacks that can just be better. They can just I guess in a sense be above the system in certain aspects. But those quarterbacks come once in a blue moon. You know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes was not that. When he had to sit behind Alex Smith, and then he had Andy Reid. Andy Reid is probably one of the better coaches for you to be under as a quarterback. And there's certain coaches in the league today that you want to be under. Sean McVay, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So is Eberflus that guy? I don't know. I don't think so. He hasn't shown anything. The
And he's
Bears
a
haven't.
defensive minded coach too. That's what
And that's
scares me
another
too.
thing. Like Bears fans, you can be mad at RG3 all you want, but tell me what quarterback that y'all have developed anytime in the last 20, 25 years. You gonna tell me Jay Cutler? Jay Cutler was okay. You know what I mean? He wasn't even that really good. Rex Grossman, okay, he got y'all to a Super Bowl, but he wasn't nice at all. Like, what
He
are
was
we talking
along for
about?
the ride. That defense got him to that Super
Thank
Bowl.
you. You know what I mean? Like y'all keep, holding on your coattails to the 85 Bears and shit. But what have y'all done? This ain't being disrespectful. This is just real.
McMahon was terrible too. That 85 defense Bear was just, and
Thank you.
Walter Payton, bro. Come on now.
Right. So like RG3 has some merit into what he's saying. Like, I get people want to just beat on RG3 because they think he corny and shit, but like he really says some real stuff that a lot of these players really do think about. You don't think Caleb Williams is like he has to say like, yeah, I'm cool with being with the Bears because it's all part of the game. He has to be in that politician role right now because if he says anything otherwise, it's going to be docked on him and people going to be like, oh, so you ain't part of the program. But like when it gets closer to the draft, don't be surprised if Caleb Williams you start hearing rumblings that Caleb Williams don't want to play for the Bears. You know what I mean? He don't like that situation. Even though the pieces that they do have are amazing. That offense should look really good. You know what I mean? I think they still have some holes they need to fix on the defensive end. Obviously, you said offensive line. I totally agree. You know what I mean? Can Swift stay healthy? And then the other thing is, can all these players stay healthy? Keenan Allen has had injury problems. Swift has had injury problems. Cole Kmet has had injury problems. Like, that's another thing you got to factor into. So Caleb Williams has had a couple of injury problems in his college career. So these are things that they need to start thinking about, because too many teams have shown that they will pick these players and they're very quick to throw these players to the wayside. They don't want these players no more. You know what I mean? So the leash is a lot shorter than what it used to be. So we gotta see. We gotta see.
Yeah, man. I think it's a little bit overblown, some of the stuff that's going on with Caleb Williams. And yes, there's some things that he kind of put on himself. Yeah, he does. But at the same time, I still think that it's still overblown. The kid's got talent. What are we talking about? I'm taking Caleb Williams twice on Sunday if I got the number one overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. Jaden Daniels played in SEC and he balled out. He did. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't dominate. He balled out. But he also had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. He's throwing the ball too. Both of them are considered top 15 picks.
Some of them, from what I've seen the last
Chris
day,
Sims said that Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors is better than Marvin Harrison
Jr. So my question to you is, where do you think is the perfect fit for Caleb Williams? If you pick the team, do you think it's the Bears? Do you think it's the Commanders? Do you think it's another team? Like a reasonable pick, obviously, because there's only so many teams that could probably get him.
I think all three situations are kind of messed up because like you think the Bears, like we just went over the Bears. Eberflus, I'm not a fan of. I don't really care for his coaching style. I mean, even though his defense did play better once they got Montez Sweat, that defense did start playing better. They did re-sign Jalen Johnson, which was huge. Washington, I'm not a fan of what's going on in Washington, even though they've been getting some pieces over there. I'm not a fan of Washington. I got to see it. You know what I'm saying? And with Dan, I mean, I've seen Dan Quinn coach up some stuff, but at the same time, he had Kyle Shanahan too. So, and I don't know. And then Patriots?
Nah. I'll say this, not to cut you off, but if the Redskins had the pieces of what the Bears did offensively, I would say it would be the Commanders, because just on the fact of Caleb Williams and Cliff Kingsbury's relationship. You know what I mean? I think he's very familiar with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, I know a lot of people like to, bring up the hometown thing and stuff like that. Obviously, being in your hometown, you might feel a little bit more comfortable, but you also could feel a little bit more pressure just, with you being in your hometown. But I don't know. It's kind of tough right now. I know I'm kind of with you. It's kind of hard to say.
But if I'm gonna go off of what I'm seeing as far as personnel and the stuff around him,
it's gotta probably be the Bears, huh?
I mean, Washington isn't bad. They got Scary Terry over there. You know what I'm saying? Jahan Dotson. They got some pieces over there. Brian Robinson. So they got pieces over there. But yeah, I think the Bears. You got Swift. I know the injury history is not the greatest, but when they are healthy, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and we'll get into the whole duo thing later. But they're one of the better on paper. They're one of the better duos in the league. They both complement each other, and yeah.
Who's the Bears OC now?
I don't even know. I forgot. I think is it Greg Roman?
Is it Greg? Nah, it can't be Greg Roman. Is it? It might be.
I don't know. Let's see. Chicago Bears OC is Shane Waldron.
Oh, the guy from Seattle. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, he did pretty good with Seattle's offense.
With Geno and stuff like that. Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see.
So, yeah, we'll see. All right, let's go to basketball, man. Is KD undervalued? I'll go ahead and let you lay this one up, sir.
Obviously, you've heard some conversations with Kevin Durant. I know a lot of people have, strong opinions about Kevin Durant, especially off of his decision to go play for the Warriors, him teaming up with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, now playing with D-Book and Bradley Beal. Obviously, the last 3 games, he hasn't really been playing playing well. Against the Bucks, he had 11 points, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Against the Celtics, in a pretty much a blowout loss. He had 20 points, 1 block, 1 assist. But his season averages are still pretty well. Pretty well. They're really excellent. 27.8 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 52.5% on field goal pursuing. His career stats is 27.3 points per game, 4.4 assists, 7 rebounds, 38.7% on 3-point shooting, over 50% on field goal percent. I think I think KD is still recognized as one of the greatest players as far as like his build, you know what I mean? For being a 7 foot, guy on the perimeter, being able to dribble, shoot, pass. His defense has gotten better as he's gone, you know what I mean? Especially for him coming back from the Achilles injury. A lot of people didn't think he was still gonna be able to put up these kind of numbers, but he's still looking like the KD of old. Obviously, I think the biggest thing with him is probably decision making on what teams he should have gone to and certain players that he should play with. Obviously, him going with the Warriors. Obviously, we all knew that was a cheat code just with the team that was surrounding him, playing with Steph, playing with Clay before his injuries, and the younger Draymond. Like we all knew those championships were just send them to him in by October. We already knew what's up. But I think that's the only thing that really affects his legacy, just the certain decisions for the different teams that he could have played. Obviously, we would love to see him win a championship without Steph Curry. I don't think it's going to happen this year because I'm really not a fan of the team that they have surrounding him. Obviously with the injury problems with Bill, and D-Book, and even Kevin Durant, they all miss games and stuff like that. So we got to see what happens next year and what they can do to surround him. I think if he can win another championship, I think that would definitely help his career. But overall, I think Kevin Durant is still one of the top 15 players to ever play this game as far as talent-wise, even top 10, honestly, as far as talent-wise to ever play this game. You know what I mean? Like, there's not too many people you're going to pick over Kevin Durant with his skill set.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's, arguably as far as individual skills, one of the greatest to ever play the game. You'll never, he's a athletic freak. Coming out, he's 7 foot tall, can dribble like you said, can shoot you out the gym. You know what I'm saying? Anything on offense, he can get you. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, he has improved defensively. Here's the thing about Kevin Durant, man, is that it's unfortunate, but what has tainted his legacy was, and I don't think I don't think it should taint him because everybody, these guys nowadays, they're gonna join up with that's the culture, and you can say LeBron started it, but that was the culture. They gonna join up with each other and try to win championships with each other because they understand they need greatness to, get to greatness. You know what I'm saying? It's not like football where you can put a whole bunch of great players on the team and expect them to win the Super Bowl. It don't always work like that because at the end of the day, it's about coaching, it's about continuity, all that stuff. It's different in football. It's basketball. You get your 3 great players out there and they all on the same page and they know the pecking order. They can win a championship. You know what I'm saying? You put a bunch of role players around them, good shooters and rebounders and all that stuff, you're good to go. But in the eyes of the public, I think, unfortunately, when he went to the Warriors, when they was already winning championships, I think if Golden State had took a dip for a couple years and wasn't winning championship, getting knocked out in the first round, and then he went to them and helped them get back over the top, I think he would have got looked at differently. He would have been like, oh, KD brought them back to prominence. But they just came off of 72, 74 wins or something like that. Then they break the record the record.
Yeah. It was like 73 wins or something.
Even though they just lost to LeBron and them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people think they lost because what's your name got suspended.
Draymond,
you know what I'm saying? Draymond got suspended. They even look at that, you know what I'm saying, not credible, you know what I'm saying, for LeBron James. Yeah. So they coming out breaking the regular season record. They just went to the finals. You know what I'm saying? And then he comes over and joins up with them. it kind of just made him look like, oh well, he got that championship. He really did. He cruised to that championship. That's how people look at it. Even though, it's hard, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. But everybody think he just cruised to get a championship, got his chip, and then the way things fell apart, you know what I'm saying, with Golden State, goes off to Brooklyn. Things don't do good in Brooklyn. Then he
Mm.
goes to Phoenix. Things don't do good in Phoenix right now. It's like kind of up and down. So, and even how things even kind of fell apart in Oklahoma City, it just, in that finals, they were up. They should probably have won that finals.
Yeah,
And it was like KD didn't show up. I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Westbrook was showing up, but he wasn't.
yeah,
So it was just kind of like, is always, that's going to be the cloud over KD. Not to say that he's not a great player. He's definitely a great player. And anybody would take KD on their team right now. LeBron would take him on the Lakers right now. They say, hey, we get a freebie. You get KD. Hell yeah, bring KD over here. Because now we got
yeah,
another shooter on the damn team. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I think he's going to be one of the greatest players when it's all said and done. But like I said, as far as him being undervalued, in a sense, he kind of hurt himself with the whole Golden State thing. I think the Golden State thing kind of put a cloud over him. It's unfortunate because at the end of the day, he won a chip. That's what y'all wanted. He got the ring. But the way he did it is going to always put a cloud over him.
No,
Unfortunately.
no, I agree with you, and obviously it doesn't really help with the players that he's compared to as far as his generation. And obviously with LeBron James and Steph Curry, I think with Steph Curry winning that championship against the Celtics, I think that boosted him a lot as far as like, people were kind of saying like, Steph couldn't win it without KD, even though Steph has won championships without KD before.
Right.
And then obviously with the career that LeBron James has had, you know, those careers are just better, honestly. You know what I mean? When you start looking at the accolades, championships, LeBron breaking all these records, his longevity. Steph Curry having 4 championships. There might be a possibility that he can win 5. So he might have 5 now. I don't know. We'll see. But I gotta remember. But overall, in the sense, it's just that the comparable careers. KD's not going to win that amongst Steph and LeBron, just in the sense of his generation. So he's going to be looked at as the third one as far as like career accolades and all that. He needs to win one without Steph. I think if he can win one without Steph, he can find a way, especially with these teams that are out there. You got the likes of the Denver Nuggets. You got the likes of the Oklahoma City Thunder coming. Minnesota's not going anywhere. Boston and the way they're built, they're not going anywhere. Dame and Giannis, you know what I mean? It's tough. Like the league is tough, and like these younger players on these younger squads, they're gonna get better as well. Like the Senguns, the Jalen Greens, you know what I mean? So, it's gonna be a tough road. But I always put KD in high regard. But you're right. There are certain. It comes down to his decision making and certain choices that he's made that has put him in situations where people do undervalue his career or question his career. Right or wrong, you know what I mean? People are just gonna have that conversation. You know what I mean? I know where KD is valued. You know what I mean? If you watch basketball, you understand basketball. We all know KD is one of the greatest of all time. So, but KD's gonna fight back. I think another issue is, KD likes to fight back a lot, which is cool. I love players that love to speak their mind. You know what I mean? Especially, I have no problem with that. You're defending your career. That's your life. I would be the same way. So I have no problem when KD claps back. I enjoy it. So, but people, I think that's the situation that I think hurts them as well. Certain people don't like that. Certain people in the media don't like that. So, shout out to KD though, man. He's still killing it out there, especially at what he's gone through.
Plus, he has one of the worst haircuts in the world. Anyway,
that's crazy, dog.
All right, man. Go ball, man. Just cut it all off. Anyway,
get hair plugs. He got money. The same as LeBron. He got hair plugs too.
Yeah,
make it work.
Call LeBron, man. Let's talk about Justin Fields. We just got to talk about Caleb Williams, but they made it official that they're gonna pick Caleb Williams because they just traded away Justin Fields for a box of Cracker Jacks.
Yeah,
and a water pistol. So yeah. 2020, 2025, not 2024, people. 2025. sixth
Six
round
round
pick.
pick.
And if he does good, it turns into a 4th-round pick. So
Yeah.
shout out to the NFL for finding a way to devalue a player. Like for real. Like, God damn. It was just the beginning of the season last year when we was talking about, oh man, I don't know, he gonna be hot on the market. Who gonna trade for Justin Fields? Is gonna take a 2nd round? Is gonna take a 1st? You know, what's it gonna take to get him?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are, year later, and now we sitting up here getting traded for a 2025 6th-round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now they just signed Russell Wilson. And at first everybody thought, okay, Russ gonna be the starter. They traded away Kenny Pickett to the Eagles because he didn't want to be a part of this thing no more. And so we thought Russ was going to be a shoe-in. Now they get Justin Fields. Is this going to be an open competition? Or is this, yo, Jay, you sit behind Russ, learn, pick up the offense, let Russ cut his teeth. If Russ start messing up during the season, we'll slide you right on in. Well, it'd be interesting to see what that is. But I do think that they want Russ to start. They want Justin Fields to, sit, pick up the offense, and then boom, all steam ahead next season. So, what are your thoughts of Justin Fields going to the Steelers?
I've been saying this on Twitter. If y'all follow me on Twitter, I have no idea what the Steelers are doing. I really don't understand their game plan. I really don't. You know what I mean? Like you're first you went from saying Kenny Pickett will have a chance to compete for the starting position. Mm-hmm. Then you guys get Russ, and then you literally say, Russ, you have the starter position. Then they trade Kenny Pickett away. Then you guys want to trade for Justin Fields, knowing the kind of drama that's going to cause all off season. You're going to have people on one side. You already have people that don't like Russell Wilson. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. Like there are certain Steeler fans that are super excited with Russ. God bless you. I know he's not as bad. I know he's not as bad as, a lot of people says, but he's not that great either. You know what I mean? Like, how much better is he really? You know what I mean? On top of that, Kenny Pickett, you had to deal with the OC in Canada. We all know Canada is not really a good OC. Kenny Pickett had injuries, stuff like that. So now you bring in Justin Fields to back up. You literally just said Russell Wilson's going to have the backup position, have them back up. But I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand the direction of it. Obviously, their QB room looks a lot different. I don't think Russell Wilson will be opposed to it. He don't really have much of a say based on his rep. Like he really can't. He really has to say that. He really has to say that.
Does he care? He's making $35 million.
No, he don't care. But at the same time, we all know Russ. He wants a long-term contract, and that's another thing. There's already been reports saying you guys are going to give Russell Wilson a long-term contract at the end of the year if he does well. So again, what's the point of like it's too many different stories coming out of Pittsburgh Steelers. Like you're seeing reports of saying that y'all are going to work towards a long-term deal with Russell Wilson if he plays well. Then why the hell are you trading for Justin Fields? Are you guys? Maybe this is a situation where they're going to try to build him up and then trade him for more to build his value up and then trade for more pieces so then they could put around Russell Wilson? I get this is also kind of like a situation where maybe they're obviously, gotta, have a fail-safe plan if Russell Wilson doesn't work out. But at the same time, when you have multiple quarterbacks, what's the saying? You don't have no quarterback. You know what I mean? Like zero. So make it make sense. Like, I don't think Mike Tomlin's in fear of his job because the Steelers don't fire nobody. You know what I mean? They literally, Canada fans been asking him to get fired for 2 years, and they finally just did that. You know what I mean? So I like the other pieces that, obviously I love the Patrick Queen piece that they added with that. So, their defense is going to be really nice. I'm still not a fan of Najee Harris. You can bring me all these stats about him.
3,000, 1,000 yards every season, man.
I'm not impressed with Najee, bro.
Why are you doing this to Najee? If there was anybody else, you'd be giving him props right now.
I'm not a fan, bro. I'm not a fan of Najee. No
Najee, you good money over here, player.
Cool, but my apologies. Najee has no business being in this conversation. This is all about Justin Fields. So get back into that. I said, I don't know what the Steelers are doing. Good luck to them. I think if Luke Getsy wasn't our OC, I think Justin Fields would probably be a Raider. But I think a lot of that had to do with the Raiders not going after Justin Fields that strongly. But we'll see how it goes, man. Obviously, that's going to be one of the more interesting training camps of the offseason. So I wonder if there would be. I don't think they'll be on Hard Knocks, would they? I don't think they're qualified for Hard Knocks, are they?
Who, Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
No, I think you got to be a loser team, don't you? You got to be bad to be on Hard Knocks.
So, yeah, maybe. Nah, I don't think you could have made the playoffs or something like that. Something like that.
Carolina or somebody.
That's gonna be terrible. Who would you like to see on Hard Knocks this year? Who you think will be the most
Chicago, man? What are you talking about?
Chicago would be interesting. I think Chicago will be interesting. I think the Commanders will be interesting in the sense of like just seeing like the way the new
how much of a clusterfuck it is over there.
Yeah. Obviously, you have like the new ownership staff, Magic Johnson, and all that. Obviously, they'll probably get Jaden Daniels. You like this? I would like to see that situation.
I'm trying to say who else. I don't want to see because you can't do the. I don't want to see the Jets again. I'm tired of that.
Nah, I don't want to see the Jets. You don't want to see the Patriots.
Definitely don't want to see them.
You don't want to see
Chargers or Harbaugh.
Yeah, obviously Harbaugh always will bring clicks on that. You know what I mean? That would be a decent one. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Let's do the Raiders, man. Come on, do the Raiders.
Look. It's a possibility. Like AP, that personality with Max Crosby. Now you add Christian Wilkinson. We have characters, obviously to showcase. But I don't.
Minshew mania. You know what I'm saying?
Minshew and all that. Yeah, but I
Christian Wilkinson and his freaky self.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be the Bears, though. I think it's going to be the Bears.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. Let's do our Bet USA picks of the week.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bet USA. Where the games begin, people. If you go on our Twitter page or in our YouTube description box, you'll see the link for Bet USA. Go ahead and click on that. Sign up. You get 125% sign-in bonus and 10% gambler insurance. So go ahead and sign up, baby, and get your bet on.
Yeah.
So what are your picks, man?
So for today, obviously it's a lot of NBA picks. I have the Hawks +9. They play the Lakers tonight. I think no matter what happens, I think it's going to be a close game, whether the Lakers win or Hawks win. I do like the Hawks with 9 points because the Lakers can't cover for shit. I like the Pacers -6.5. The Pacers have been giving trouble to the Cavaliers, so I like that pick. They like to score a lot of points, so I like that. And then also I like the Knicks money line against the Warriors. Obviously, OG is not playing, but I think the Knicks are just a better team. So those are my three.
Yeah, I took this +6.5 for the Cleveland Cavaliers and Pacers. I also took the Heat on the money line over the who they play. They're playing the Sixers. I got the Heat on the money line.
Yeah.
And then I took the over in the Knicks in the Golden State game. I think it's like 225. So I took the over.
For sure. I like those.
So shout out to Bet Us or Bet USA. True.
Shout out to y'all for sure.
All right, man. Let's talk a little NBA. Yeah. Should the Lakers give LeBron another big deal? Well, you're the Laker fan. What should they do, Mall GM?
So, I'm just going to give you a couple of informations, to go about it. So, LeBron, obviously, he does have a player option for next year. It's worth $51.4 million. He has until June 29th to make that decision. So I think that's a little bit after the draft. I think it's like a couple of days after the draft. So, you got that. The potential contracts that could potentially be made with the Lakers, he can potentially get a 3-year max for $162 million, or he can do a 2-year for $104 with a player option for the second year. Any other team, the max would be $154 million, so he'll lose about $8 million. Not really much off his back. His career earnings are $482 million, so he definitely is going to have a chance to make over $500 million. I think he'll be the first player ever to do it. So after all that information is said, I personally don't think they should give LeBron James a big-time contract. I get it. He put up 40 points. but he is getting older. He is becoming more injury prone. His defense is not that great. He plays when he wants to play. Even with the healthy season, this has been a really healthy season for the Lakers. And look, I'm not even going to bring up Darvin Ham. I know Darvin Ham has a lot. I know Darvin Ham brings a lot of problems. But in a sense, it's like we already are in close to cap hell right now with the contracts of AD and LeBron. If we want to have any flexibility, we need LeBron needs to give us like a little bit of a discount. You know what I mean? If he wants to win championships, I'm not saying he has to, go from making 50 million to 20. I'm not saying that, but give us some breathability so we can have some potentials to bring more players on so we can have a better chance to win a championship. Now, obviously, Darvin Ham must be gone. Darvin Ham must be gone for us to have any chance to win a championship. I don't care who you put on this team. Darvin Ham is not really a great coach, but I would personally would hope they can find a deal not to give him the full max, but the Lakers are probably going to end up giving him the full max.
Pay that man. Don't pay him, man. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Don't pay him. Don't pay him. He getting old. I know he playing 40 years good old, right now,
man. Like, come on, man.
It's just like the other shoe gonna drop eventually. You don't put yourself in cap hell. This nigga's like 42. Now he's averaging 15 points a game.
But this is what I'm saying though. Like he had the likes of David Blatt, and they were able to, to still be a number one seed. He was like his talent alone was able to pretty much get over bad coaching in a sense. You know what I mean? He doesn't do that. Like he can't do that no more. You know what I mean? He doesn't play both sides of the floor. You know what I mean? He takes a lot of plays off. Like if you watch the games, he doesn't play hard all the time. You know what I mean? And I get it. He's about to be over 40 years old, man. Like we need some cap flexibility. Like, you know what I mean? Like we got Austin Reeves' contract. We got D'Lo depending on deciding what he gonna do. Like sounds like more and more like he's gonna opt out. You know what I mean? You're hearing rumors about maybe doing a trade for Trae Young or other players. You know what I mean? Maybe possibly signing a Donovan Mitchell, even though I think he's gonna go to the Knicks. Like, but if LeBron is really serious about winning championships, take a team friendly deal. Like still make your money, but at the same time be able to have some cap space for you to get players that can help you win a chip. Now, if you don't care, get your bread. But if I'm the Lakers brass, they need to like, come on, man. Like the way this going right now, we're going to another year hoping and praying that LeBron James is still going to be able to play the way he's playing now and yet still be a playing team. So
you think they're going to pay him?
Yeah, and they are going to pay him. They are going to pay him. Sadly, they are.
Well, how big is the contract going to be? Yeah,
I think they're going to give him the 3 year. I think they're going to probably cave in and give him the 3 year max for 162. That's what I think.
We shall see. All right, let's talk college football, man. 14-team college football playoff official.
Yeah.
So supposedly they are expanding to 12 teams from 2026 with the scope of 14-team structure to be implemented in the future.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on them expanding to 14 teams and they haven't even done 12 teams yet?
I'm not surprised because it's always a money grab thing with this. I know certain teams like Notre Dame, they think it would help in the sense of not making it a complete Big Ten versus SEC showdown, kind of like tournament, you know what I mean? So some teams, kind of say it like that, but I'm not surprised. Like, I wish we could have did 5 years of the new format that we have now, but it is what it is, man. A lot of these sports organizations, which college football is, to the college football, to obviously March Madness, you're going to hear about them trying to, add more teams to the tournament. Obviously, you're hearing rumblings about the NFL adding another game. I wouldn't be surprised if they talked about, maybe bumping up them playoffs, maybe adding 2 more teams. you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be inevitable at this point, man. It's just something that we're all gonna have to adjust to, whether we like it or not. Um, it just is what it is, man.
We sit here and we complain about how basketball regular season doesn't matter because they didn't diluted the product so much and added so much of this and that and the third.
Mm-hmm.
Now you bringing it to football. Now college football regular season just ain't gonna matter no more. It ain't gonna matter no more. You know what I'm saying? And then NFL regular season ain't gonna matter because you gonna let 12 teams. You gonna let half the league in. What are we doing here, man?
It's money, man. It's money, dog. We all know what it is, man. We all know what it is. Like a lot of these sports organizations, man, they're gonna phase them. I would say phase them out because obviously, as long as gambling's still around, sports are still gonna be around as well. But you know,
These participation reward winning mother effers want everybody to be happy and get into the tournament. Oh, you get in and you get in. No, this should be prestigious.
look. I'll say this to be on the devil's advocate of this with your kind of opinion. Like 14 teams out of how many college teams? That's really a small percentage. You know what I mean? It's still really a small percentage when you really think about the bigger aspect of how many teams are out there.
It's still the optics. You know damn well 14 ain't gonna win.
How do we know though? How do we know?
Smoke. This ain't college basketball where Chattanooga State can come in and surprise a number one.
Boise State did it against Oklahoma. What are we talking about?
That's because they sat everybody.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We all both know there's always a possibility for a number one to go down, man. It's always a possibility. You know what I mean? Like, it can happen, man. It's not going to happen as much as we would like to see it, but look, man, football games. Even when we had four, we had some bad games. Them semifinals weren't really good until the last year or two. For the most part, them semifinal games were ass, and that was the top four. So what's the point? It's just adding 10 more teams,
adding more mediocrity. Yep, you're right.
What it
adding
is.
more mediocrity.
Look, if you really want to talk about it, like football has boring games a lot. They really do. They really do, man. They really do.
Still have to accept it. I still love it.
I love football too, man. But like, all right, so like if this obviously this is official. Where would this be placed as far as like the best playoffs, from NBA, NFL, March Madness, college football? You think this will be the worst? NHL? You think this will be worse than Major League Baseball?
Because say what you want about Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball playoff time. It be cracking.
Okay.
No, they be playing.
They do.
The wild card be cracking. Yeah.
Do you watch it though?
I do.
You watch the whole game?
Yeah. Okay. I watch the playoffs for baseball.
So who has the worst playoffs to you?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe that. No. I mean, you might have to say the NFL. No, it's college football. It's college football.
You think college football has the worst playoffs?
It's still the worst because, like you said, other than the last few years and probably just last year, because the year before that it was still bad. You're still gonna get like if you get a Big 10 or Big 12 team versus an SEC team, more than likely the Big 12, Big 10 team, unless that Big 10, Big 12 team, ACC, whatever team is just loaded and stacked like a Clemson, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, they gonna get smoked off the field.
Right.
Whereas at least in the NFL, you have a Houston versus Cleveland situation. You know what I'm saying? Even though Cleveland had a backup quarterback, Joe Flacco was coming in hot. A lot of people didn't think the Texans had a chance. They just lost Tank Dell, and they went in there and smoked Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you have at least that situation. There's a chance that this number 7 seed, like, and you always hear it every season. If they get in at the 7 seed, that's a 7 seed. Nobody wants to play. You know what I'm saying? So I still think that the NFL playoffs is still better than in NCAA
Okay.
playoffs. I mean, March Madness is still probably the best because of the whole allure. You know, even though when it breaks down, most times out of 10, the number ones or two, the first three seeds are usually in the final four. Whatever region that you're coming from,
Mm.
but the whole around college football, I mean college basketball, March Madness is still, on a whole nother level. NBA playoffs is always gonna be great, you know what I'm saying? It's a series, you know what I'm saying? If you don't get it this time, oh, you can get it the next time. And if we get 7 games, woo, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Like it's nothing like that. So yeah, I'd say college football.
I agree with you. I
Because
think
even in hockey playoffs, that's still good. You know what
hockey
I'm
playoffs are
saying?
really good. Yeah, hockey playoffs can be really good.
Hockey
Yeah.
playoffs are really, really good. So, and then, soccer, that's the World Cup is like worldwide global. That's on a whole nother level. Even if you're not into soccer, you feel
The
the
tension of it. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Might be NASCAR. No, I'm just playing.
Nah, NASCAR is terrible. Like, no offense, but no, I agree with you. I think March Madness is probably the best one. I just think
Mhm.
overall, I've always said it. I think basketball on TV is just more appeasing. You having the 4 games going on, you have the 4 slate in the morning, late morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, into the nighttime. Um, we've seen ones go down. We seen the one go down last year. Obviously, it doesn't happen a lot. We've seen a lot of twos go down. Just kind of like the aspect. Obviously, I think with more entrenched fan bases with colleges, you know what I mean? Colleges have more entrenched fan bases where they're literally like ride or die. Have people going to these schools and all that. Just overall excitement, man. It's like almost a month worth of playoffs of just true excitement that you get all across the nation. So yeah, I'm gonna go with March Madness, but yeah, college football. You might be right. College football might be the worst one. They really might be the worst one.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's do DJ Moore and Keenan Allen pick a stick.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it, man. I got a couple of names. You know what I mean? Got about 10 duos, man. So we're gonna do this. So all right, I'm gonna start with it. Cooper Cup and Pua Nakua. Who'd you take?
Cooper Cup, Tuka Nakua.
Why then? Why would you take them?
I just think that they're better duo.
All right. Uh, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
It's a difficult one because I mean Addison is a baller too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson and Addison.
Okay. Okay. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
Okay. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one right there. Mm, yeah, I'm about to go with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Okay. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle.
Tyreek Hill, Jalen.
Okay. Um, let's do it. Rasheed Rice, Marquise Brown.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You know the answers. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Hollywood's coming, baby. Woo!
All right. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis.
Keenan Allen and DJ Moore.
Okay. Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers.
This is close. This is very close. Devontae Adams, because he's better than both of them.
Okay. Okay.
But no,
Uh,
Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, they complement each other. So
okay. Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs.
uh, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore.
Okay. And then last one, Amari Cooper, Jerry Judy.
DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
All right, cool. That's the 10 I have, man. Is there anybody else you would add to that list that could overtake DJ Moore and
Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel.
I like Debo, but is Keenan Allen a better receiver than Debo?
Yes, he is. He is.
DJ Moore and Brandon Ayuk, who would you take?
They kind of wash each other out. I think DJ Moore is very underrated. I
He
think
is. He
because
is. He
he
is.
went to Carolina and then he got
He
he
had
was
the
in
whole
Chicago. He was in
Chicago.
Chicago,
Right. Right. Right.
and he still put up 1,300 yards last year. Like, let's not
Nah.
forget that. Like I had to look at it one day and I said he had 1,300. What?
Nah.
How?
Yeah. Nah. Facts.
From
Facts.
who?
So when you really look at that, you might take DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Obviously, with Keenan Allen, the injury
Mhm,
history plays its part, but Debo has had injury problems. I think Ayuk
mhm.
has had some injury problems. I think for the most part, DJ Moore has been pretty healthy. I think he has some
Yeah,
like
he is.
knickknacks and stuff like that, but I think for the most part, he finishes the season. So
Like I said, in Carolina, he was a beast out there. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I've always said DJ Moore is a taller version of Stephon Diggs without the, personality and all that stuff. Because
hmm
they, being that they both played in Maryland, but I feel like they like have similar styles. You know how they run their routes and
yeah.
all that stuff. So
So would you say they were a top 5 duo, top 10 duo?
I'm not gonna do that. I'll say the top 12. I gotta see it first. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna just crown them. My man, RP to Dennis Green. You want to crown their ass? Crown them.
But
And
I don't think you could name 12 ahead of him though.
I just named like six ahead of.
Obviously you took AJ Brown, Devontae. Yeah, I get that. You said Jefferson, Jordan Addison. You would take over them.
Mhm.
Cooper Kupp, Nakua, that's 3. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, that's 4. Devontae Adams, Myers, right?
I took
That's
that. Yeah,
5. Rasheed Rice, Marquise Brown, that's a no.
I took DJ Moore.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, that's 6. Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, that's a no. Mari Cooper, Judy, that's a no. I'm trying to think who else is out there. You would pick the 49ers over them still, or no?
No, I wouldn't. I
No.
wouldn't.
Seattle's, DK Metcalf and them. You would take them.
That's a possibility.
The Jets, would you take the Jets over them?
No, hell no. They just got what's his name? Garrett Wilson. That's all they got.
Cowboys,
Yeah.
Brandon
No,
Cooks and CD.
no.
Houston's,
That's
Tank
a nice
Dell.
combo, but no, I wouldn't take Nico Collins.
The Saints, Chris Olave and what's his name? I don't know.
Michael Thomas, he
Michael
gone.
Thomas is gone.
He
He
gone.
gone.
Maybe Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Mhm. They've been doing it for years.
I would take Keenan Allen over Godwin though.
I know. Just messing with you. Let's see what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see them being top 10 right now already.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. The trade game. You got to lay this one up for me.
All right. So obviously, like there could be some trades that obviously aren't there. So my whole thing was maybe we can, be the GM of that specific team, trade into the other GM. Would you accept that trade or not? What I mean? That was kind of like the whole philosophy of this. So do you have any trades that you would throw at a GM to see if they would bite or not?
Yeah, L'Jarius Sneed. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, throw to L'Jarius. Like who would like L'Jarius Sneed? Like who would you want to try to trade, or what would you try to want to get back for L'Jarius Sneed? Like what team do you think would take L'Jarius Sneed off your hand and get the value that you would want for him?
Maybe I gotta look at the draft order. Hold on. NFL draft order. Realistically, I would get on the phone. I would call the Tennessee Titans and say, "Give me that 38th pick for the Jerry Sneak."
For Jerry Snake.
Hmm.
They do need cornerback help. You know what I mean?
And there was rumblings that they were in the mix, but now because what's the holdup is his asking price. I think he wants to have 20 million a year, and teams are like, "Nah, we ain't giving you 20."
Yeah.
So that's why I think he ends up resigning. I think he ends up resigning with the Chiefs now, unless his price just goes down.
I low key think he's just gonna. Yeah, I could see him just playing on the tag and then them just being like, "Good luck," and either we try
Mhm.
to resign you in all in the all season or
I think even this, I think like going up to the draft, I think Brad Veach just goes up to him and says, "Hey, you see that teams ain't gonna give you your price. Here's the deal we got for you. Come stay a Chief, and just go try to get some Super Bowls type deal."
yeah.
So yeah, that's the one of the trades. But if I was another organization, let's see. Now the Minnesota Vikings just traded with Houston to get their 23rd pick.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was Vikings, I would take my two first round because they got the 11th and they got the 23rd pick.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably move up to, I would call New England. And I would be like, yo, I'll give you these two first round picks so they can go get Drake May.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
That's what I'm doing if I'm the Vikings. Trade the 11th and the 23rd, move up and go get your franchise quarterback.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad.
Now, if you really want to make some shit happen, you call Arizona and you say, hey, I give you this first, this 23rd, and Justin Jefferson. And still get your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that.
Because Arizona has another pick in the first round, too. So,
I ain't mad. I ain't mad.
what would you
Would you?
do?
Um, I was thinking about certain players. So I was thinking about maybe doing um an Alvin Kamara trade. Like maybe
Mm.
an Alvin Kamara to the Carolina Panthers, helping out boosting up that
I don't think they would do that, but
I don't
okay.
think they would do that. I'm just saying. I think it would help. I think especially with Bryce Young. Bryce Young need pieces to help around him. Alvin Kamara is getting a little older, obviously. You know what I mean. So, in the sense of that is, I get it. You don't want to play. You don't want to trade within your division. But how much do you fear Kamara? I don't think the Saints would fear him that much, especially if they could get the right value for him. If the Panthers are willing to give up that value, I don't see why they would say no. You know what I mean? Like, how much fear do you have for Alvin Kamara? You know what I mean? How much fear does a running back really put in you? If it's not a Christian McCaffrey, if it's not a Saquon Barkley, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
something
Alvin
like
can
that.
do some of them things too now. He can catch out the backfield.
No, he do, but he is an injury prone running
Yeah.
back nowadays. He is getting a little older. You know how that goes. Um, Another one I was thinking, to help give a team some cap relief was a Dak Prescott trade. You know what I mean? Obviously, you have certain situations where they're still trying to figure out what they want to do with that squad. So I was potentially maybe thinking, maybe Dallas Cowboys do like a trade with, maybe the New England Patriots. You know what I mean? If they don't like the situation with Drake May, maybe try to trade that number 3 pick or something for Dak Prescott or something like that. You know, um, Especially if you want to speed up the process of y'all being a lot better. You know what I mean? I know there's certain people that also even mentioned possibly maybe even the Raiders. You know what I mean? Possibly thinking about dabbling in the Dak Prescott situation. I would not be surprised, especially in a situation where I think Mark Davis is trying to win sooner than later. So especially with the pieces that we have an older Devontae Adams. I would with that defense, if we can get a quarterback, I feel like that's all we're really missing. So I think that's something you can possibly entertain as well too.
If I'm the Raiders, just gonna put in a little phone call to the Arizona Cardinals real quick. Like, hey man,
I know
how
where you're
much would it
going.
take to get Kyler Murray off your hands? Y'all can still get a quarterback right here at 4, and you get our pick to get your wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
13.
So, what would it take? Maybe we add a little sauce to it, put a little extra on the back, put some other pick, whatever. Maybe give y'all a play. I don't know, but it's gonna take to get Kyler Murray off your
I'll say a 1 and a 2. I can see a 1 and a 2, or maybe 1 and a player, depending on the player.
Saying.
But I'm like, what is Murray's trade value though at this particular time though? Some people are high on him, some people are not. So
That's even better for y'all. Take this goddamn second round pick.
I would honestly, I would definitely take Kyle Murray. I was hoping that he would be available. Honestly. Because at this point, the Raiders aren't going to get the quarterback that they think we're going to get. We're not getting JJ McCarthy. I think JJ McCarthy's getting picked in the top 8, top 7. I guess our best bet, honestly, would probably be Michael Penix or Bo Nix. But
I think you get him in the second.
I would rather get Penix in the second. Yeah,
that's what I said. I think you get Penix in the second, unless somebody just like falls in love with him, and I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I could see y'all trading back or staying pat, or maybe trading up in the second round, maybe to Washington's pick or Arizona if you're getting an inkling that somebody's gonna take him.
Let me ask you this. Let's say either the Jags or Bills do not do well again this year. Or let's say the Bills, obviously the Bills did okay. But let's say the Bills or the Jags have a bad year this year. Obviously the Bills seem like they're in a kind of a rebuilding mode. You have a particular player, let's say Shedeur Sanders plays really excellent. Do you consider trading? Let's say the Jags and the Bills are like in a situation where not so much the Bills, because I think they have too much high regard with Josh Allen. But let's say Trevor Lawrence, you know what I mean? Trevor Lawrence has been kind of up and down. Let's say he has another bad year. People are going to be kind of like questioning that situation. You have Shedeur Sanders there. Let's say he wins the Heisman, plays really well, gets Colorado to a respectable way. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but I'm not saying they're going to win a championship. But let's say they're an above 500 team and win 9 games or something like that. Could you see a situation if the Jags are kind of like just on the cuffs, like outside looking in, they think about trading Trevor Lawrence for like a quarterback next year and consider not paying?
He would have to have a horrible season for that to happen. Like he would have to lead the league in like interceptions. Like
Yeah.
like
I know it sounds sacrilegious. I'm not
saying it's sacrilegious. I'm just saying
people would think that
he would have to have a horrible season for that scenario to come up. Like if he still has his regular seasons that he's been having, or he produces 4,000 some odd yards and 30 something touchdowns, close to 40, they're gonna re-sign him and give him the largest contract, regardless if you think he deserves it. That's just the market. They're gonna give him the biggest contract in the NFL as far as quarterbacking goes. But if he has a historically just bad season, I would think about it.
Like, let's just say he just has another year like this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just don't. Like this year wasn't really good.
It wasn't, but he gets
like how much longer of a leash would you give Trevor Lawrence? Like he only.
This is what I would do with Trevor Lawrence. I would still do the 5th year. I would exercise the 5th year option on this dude. And then after the 5th year option, if you still ain't like looking like how we thought you was gonna look, now we got decisions to make.
I got you.
Now we got decisions to make. But now that he's, you got that 5th year option on him, I would exercise the 5th year option on him and then be like, yo, you know what? We'll see how you do after this 5th year option. If you don't do good or you still looking, kind of
So could you see any team next year getting out of their starting quarterback for a new quarterback next year? Who do you think will be the new
y'all?
Well, I'm just talking about like, obviously, no, I'm talking about like an actual, like they have like a starter where they be like, you know what, we kind of like them, but we're ready to go a different direction.
Unfortunately, I don't, hey, don't kill me for this, but I can see the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts, you can see that? Think so, huh? Why is that?
If they don't look good again and they don't make the playoffs, I can see them being like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they got a top pick,
Yeah.
and Shador Sanders is sitting there, or Carson Beck, or Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they might be like, yeah, gonna move on.
Do you think next year's QB draft? You think next year's QB draft could be better than this year's?
Not as top heavy,
Just overall, you think it'll be
but
more like you could see a lot of better. You could see a lot
I
more.
think the skill. Yeah, I think the skills of the skill sets of the quarterback might be a little bit better
Mhm,
because Cam Ward, watch out for that kid. He's the real deal. I'm not
mhm.
so sold on Carson Beck. I just think he played for that's the Georgia quarterback.
That's Georgia
You know,
quarterback. You
didn't he
have
play? He played at Ohio State, didn't he?
yeah. I don't
And
think
then
he
he
got a run
transferred.
though. Yeah, he
And then he
transferred, so he ain't
transferred.
gonna. I don't think he got enough run though. I think that was a problem with him. And then obviously you have the homie from Duke who transferred to Notre Dame. I think you
Yeah,
have him.
you got Will Howard. He's at Ohio State now. He came from K
Mhm.
State. You got the Gabriel, but I think
Got
he's
Quinn
too.
Ewers from Texas.
Yeah, you got Quinn, and of course Shador.
Mhm.
Um, it's gonna be interesting. This quarterback, I don't think the hype. I mean, Shador has the hype, but even him being at Colorado and now that the
That
kind of
Sanders name
it
holds a
does,
lot of
but the
weight, dog.
expectations of that team is kind of tailored down now
I get
because
it. I get it.
everybody coming into this season thought, oh, Colorado's gonna be something, and then the first few games they looked like they was gonna do something, and then it just kind of went down. We'll see how it looks with more better recruiting, guys coming in or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. We'll see. All right, man. Who is your flowers of the week?
So my flowers of the week, I'm gonna go with it with something that just got announced today. I'm gonna go with the JJ Redick and Braun podcast. I'm gonna give the flowers to that. I think everybody's excited to that, especially to see Braun in the different light. I think people want to see him, talk about basketball more in a more intellectual facet, which he does. He's a very smart human being when it comes to the basketball game. So I'm gonna give my flowers to that situation. I'm excited to listen to that podcast, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Cardi B. Surprisingly, I'm gonna give a shout out to Cardi B. She proclaimed that in relationships, it should be a 50-50 split when amongst bills. So I'm gonna shout out to her for trying to talk knowledge into certain groups of people. Like, yeah, this is a team, it's a partnership. You know what I mean? Her whole philosophy is if your man pays all the bills, how are y'all gonna how is he gonna be able to save money? If y'all want to buy a business, buy some property, he will never be able to do it because he has to pay all the bills and take care of you. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. So it's logical. Keep things in 50-50 relationships. So I fuck with it. So I'm gonna give my flowers to her.
I know. It was announced last week, but we didn't have a pod at the time. I'm going to give my flowers to Aaron Donald. He just retired. Shout out to
Yeah.
Aaron Donald,
Shout out
man.
to Aaron.
One of the greatest defensive linemen to ever play. One of the greatest defensive players to ever play the game. Might play a little pick and stick on Wednesday with Aaron Donald. But one of the greatest of all times. Held it down for the Rams. Uh yeah, man. Can't enough be said about Aaron Donald. And shout out to him for waiting to retire. So, what I'm saying, that defensive tackle market could still be set. You know what I'm saying? If he
Mm-hmm.
quit, he retires. Chris Jones can't say, well, Aaron Donald Aaron Donald's retired.
Yeah, nah,
So
yeah.
so shout out to him for waiting for that too to help the market get set for the defensive tackles out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. Like I said, not enough can be said about Aaron Donald. One of the greatest of all times, man. Who does your hell now go to?
Well, you know me, man. I can never just have one. I got two. First one goes to the whole. There's a situation where I saw online where Kobe's 2000 championship ring is up for auction. I'm not really a fan of that situation. Hopefully, the family can get it back. Hopefully, it's just a fake, kind of like ring or something like that. So hopefully, if it is true, hopefully, Vanessa and them can get it back. Keep it with the family. It's not like they need money. I think they're set. I think they're Gucci. So hopefully, they can get that back if it's true. And then number 2 goes to PBC with the whole situation with Keith Thurman with the injury. I told you this was a bad idea from the start, especially with you wanting to. I was never a fan of this being the first pay-per-view for Amazon. Now you see what happens when you're 3 years out of boxing. You try to come back and train for a big time fight. You're older. Your body doesn't respond well. So now PBC looks like it's going to be asked out of a fight. T-Mobile look like it's about to be asked out of a fight. And
not necessarily, because we're actually
mean?
getting a better fight.
What you mean?
And Tim Zoo and Steven, because what's his name, Sebastian Fedora stepping in, and he's one of the topper.
Oh, so he's gonna step in if Keith Thurman can't go. Oh, okay,
so we actually gonna get a better fight.
I didn't know that. When I first saw the report, it seemed like the whole pay-per-view was gonna get canceled. But at the end of the day, it's still a hell no for PBC, because I don't think Keith Thurman should have been in this spotlight. I think with Keith Thurman, he should have been on the undercard. If you want to try to build him up, get him ready for a big fight like this. I don't think after a 3-year layoff, I knew it was going to be a disaster from the gate, whether this fight went on or not. Like, it just wasn't going to go well. So PBC got to do better. A lot of stuff going on. So hopefully they can make that fight. Hopefully that's they make that official if Keith Thurman can't go through. So.
No, they did make it official though. They did.
They did. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
He's stepping in. My hell no goes to all you Twitter's inside source motherfuckers. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all get on here lying, telling people, "Oh well, my sources say you got a 3-4 year deal." And now the only person that gets a little love is the Pretty Ricky dude. That he kind of was spot on with some of the shit that he said. But other than that, you rest of you dudes, I'm tired of y'all. Y'all little inside fake shit that y'all be doing. Oh, such and such signing a 1-year deal and all that. Stop. All right, just stop. All right, you ain't Adam Scheffner, you ain't Ian Rappaport, and hell, sometimes they get it wrong. So I'm tired of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't one of them, if it ain't Phil Yates or Tom Pescalo, whatever, any one of them insider dudes, I ain't trying to hear y'all, man. So stop. Cut it out.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on. Oh,
all right, man. All right, people. Let's give a shout out to Glitch Energy Drink.
Glitch, man. Shout out to Glitch, man. They've been rocking with us for a minute. Glitch Energy Drink offers a wide range of delicious flavors to suit everyone's taste preferences, whether you're into fruity flavors like Maui Punch, Cherry Bomb, Blue Smurf, or grenades. There's something for everyone. Glitch Energy Drink is not only great for gamers and workout warriors, but also for everyday people who just need a boost of energy. It's a healthy choice that you can feel good about. You can find more information and purchase Glitch Energy Drink at glitchenergy.com. Remember to use the promo code Cris and Mall to get 10% off your purchase and start enjoying these great, delicious drinks, man. So shout out to Glitch, man. Make sure you use that promo code right there that you see, Cris and Mall, 10% off.
Yes, sir. Whatever streaming platform that you use to listen to your podcast on, you can find the Cris Mall podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you listen to your podcast on, Cris Mall podcast is available. Also, if you're first time watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 12 p.m. and live on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m., Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the live with us. You can go in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about the topics with us. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and subscribe to us, man. We need that. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever you use to, do your social media on, Follow us. You know what I'm saying? We'll follow you back. And hit us up, man. Give us critiques, feedback, topics, questions, whether it be sports and entertainment stuff, or regular lifestyle stuff. You know what I'm saying? You want to bring us a question or a topic, we will shout you out on the show, because we want y'all to be a part of this experience just as much as we are. We want to give y'all the best podcast content that we can give y'all.
Yeah.
So go ahead and hit us up, man, because we are for the people. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. Until Wednesday night, hope everybody has a good day. And we are out.
Yes, sir.